Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Iraqi Dinar News channel. Today, we have a breaking update that could reshape the financial world as we know it. Reports are now circulating about the Iraqi dinar contract rate being revealed in 2025, a development that has captured the attention of investors, governments, and financial experts globally. This is not just another rumor. For years, people have speculated about the potential revaluation of the dinar. And now we are seeing indications of concrete steps being taken. If you've been holding on to Iraqi dinar, today's news could be a turning point. In this video, we'll take you through all the details, explain what a contract rate means, and explore the global impact of these developments in simple, clear terms. Stay tuned because this information could change everything. The first thing to understand is what a contract rate actually is and why it matters for the Iraqi dinar. A contract rate is a pre-agreed exchange rate that is used for large-scale transactions, institutional deals, and agreements between governments. Unlike the rates you see at local banks or exchange offices, a contract rate is usually negotiated behind closed doors and applies to high-value exchanges. The news that such a rate may now be fixed for the Iraqi dinar signals that the currency is being prepared for larger financial movements. This is a big deal because it shows that steps are being taken not only to stabilize the currency, but also to prepare for potential revaluation, something that investors have been waiting for years. One of the reasons the Iraqi dinar has captured global attention is Iraq's massive oil wealth. The value of the dinar is closely tied to Iraq's natural resources, particularly oil, which makes it different from most other currencies. When Iraq's oil revenues grow or stabilize, it directly impacts the strength of the dinar. With some of the largest proven oil reserves in the world, Iraq has the ability to influence global markets through its currency. This means that any official changes to the dinar's value are not just local news. They have worldwide implications. Economists and investors across the globe are watching carefully because even small adjustments could ripple across international financial systems. Another important aspect of this story is the gap between Iraq's official exchange rate and the rate available on the street or in informal markets. For years, this gap has caused confusion, encouraged black market activity, and weakened trust in the Iraqi dinar. Now, the central bank is reportedly taking steps to narrow this gap, bringing the official rate closer to what people experience in everyday transactions. This is a critical step for building stability in Iraq's economy by reducing the difference between official and market rates. Iraq can strengthen its banking system, curb corruption, and create an environment where future currency changes, such as a potential revaluation, can be introduced more smoothly. The presence of Iraqi dinar holdings outside of Iraq is another key factor to consider. Large amounts of dinar are reportedly held not just by individual investors, but also by governments, international banks, and major financial institutions. This means the currency is not just a local matter, it has become a global asset. A currency is held internationally. Any significant change in value can have far-reaching effects. That is why observers suggest that a contract rate for the dinar is being carefully managed with international cooperation. This ensures that the currency's adjustments are structured and do not destabilize markets. Both inside Iraq and globally, the role of the United States in this process cannot be overlooked. Reports indicate that the U.S. holds substantial amounts of Iraqi dinar and also manages dollar reserves tied to Iraq's oil revenues. This dual role positions the U.S. as a major stabilizer and participant in the process. Decisions made by the U.S. regarding the timing and implementation of changes in the dinar's value could influence global outcomes. For holders of the dinar in the U.S. or elsewhere, this is crucial because it shows that any movement in the currency is not random. Instead, it is part of a carefully monitored and structured process that involves significant international oversight. Another piece of this story is the reported establishment of redemption centers. Unlike regular banks, these centers are designed to handle high-value currency exchanges discreetly and efficiently. They allow for the processing of large transactions without interfering with day-to-day banking services. Redemption centers may operate under tiered systems, meaning only certain transactions or holders will have access to the highest contract rate opportunities. Understanding the difference between public exchanges at banks and specialized transactions at redemption centers is vital. Individuals need to know the correct procedures to avoid being excluded from potential opportunities linked to contract rates. The potential scale of this development is staggering. Estimates suggest that the United States alone could hold more than 40 trillion Iraqi dinar. If even a modest revaluation occurs, the resulting value could reach tens of trillions of dollars, enough to influence national balance sheets worldwide. Other countries are also reported to hold significant reserves of the dinar, making this a global financial event rather than a local one. These holdings highlight why governments, international institutions, and financial experts are watching the process closely. They are all preparing for potential currency adjustments that could have far-reaching economic and geopolitical consequences. The process of revaluation or currency adjustment is rarely immediate. Analysts suggest that Iraq is likely to implement changes in stages to prevent market disruption. Phased rollouts allow authorities to control inflation, manage market expectations, and reduce risks for both domestic citizens and international investors. This method has been used historically in other countries after conflicts or economic crises, like the German mark restructuring after World War II or Kuwait's post-war currency revaluation. Patience, discipline, and careful planning are crucial. For those holding Iraqi dinar, the timing of each phase will determine how gains are realized and managed. It is also essential to understand the risks involved. Fraudulent schemes and unauthorized exchange centers have reportedly surfaced, targeting hopeful currency holders. Only officially recognized redemption centers are considered legitimate for accessing contract rate exchanges. Attempting to bypass the official channels can lead to financial loss, legal trouble, or scams. Experts consistently advise holders to verify documentation, check currency notes, and consult qualified professionals before taking any action. Staying informed and cautious is the best way to protect investments and avoid unnecessary risk during this complex financial process. Taxation is another critical factor. Large-scale wealth transfers are always monitored by tax authorities, including institutions like the IRS. Individuals who acquire substantial sums from currency revaluation or large contract rate exchanges must plan carefully to avoid unexpected tax liabilities. Without proper guidance, new wealth can quickly be diminished by taxes. Professional financial and legal advice is strongly recommended, as navigating international currency regulations, reporting requirements, and tax obligations can be complex. Knowledgeable preparation can prevent costly mistakes while maximizing the benefits of currency adjustments. The broader political and strategic dimensions cannot be ignored. US and Iraqi leadership has tied financial reforms to both economic and geopolitical objectives. Any currency movement is not just an economic measure. It serves as a tool for stability, control, and international negotiation. Ensuring Iraq's oil revenues and foreign reserves are managed responsibly has long been a priority. Now, with contract rates and international oversight in play, the dinar's potential revaluation is entwined with diplomatic, strategic, and economic considerations. Understanding this context is key for anyone watching developments closely. Inside Iraq, citizens and advocacy groups are calling for reforms that ensure equitable distribution of resources and benefits. As banking and infrastructure improve, there is increasing pressure for oil revenue and currency reserves to be shared more transparently. These grassroots efforts influence the pace and structure of financial reforms. Leaders cannot ignore growing demands for fairness. and these pressures are part of what shapes decisions about currency adjustments. For holders of Iraqi dinar, this emphasizes that internal factors are just as important as international oversight in determining the currency's trajectory. In conclusion, the Iraqi dinar in 2025 is at a historic crossroads. The narrowing of the official and street exchange rates, the reported fixing of contract rates, the role of redemption centers, and international oversight all suggest that carefully planned process is already underway. While exact details are closely guarded, the foundations for potential revaluation or staged currency restructuring are visible. For investors, patience, strategy, and reliance on verified information are essential. This is a rare moment in global finance, and the Iraqi dinar may be poised to become one of the most significant and closely watched currencies in the world.